Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. It is a new week, and that of course means we've got a bunch of new updates inbound for Black Ops 6 and Warzone. And today, I wanted to preview a handful of the more significant updates that the devs have previewed. We actually have a new free access update coming later this week. We also have a bunch of in-game updates, different bug fixes, and other things of that nature that have also been revealed over the course of the past few days as well. So starting first with our free access event. This is actually the first time we've had one of these for Black Ops 6. This is a pretty standard thing for COD. They've been going on for several years now, where about once per season, with the exception of sometimes like season 5 and season 6, just because that's when the premium game is typically winding down, they do offer about a week's worth of a free trial, so anyone can jump into Black Ops 6 multiplayer and some of Black Ops 6 zombies completely for free. So if you're typically just a Warzone player, you want to jump in, maybe level up some weapons a bit more conveniently, go for some of the multiplayer or the zombie camo challenges, it's a great time to jump on and test out the game. Now obviously they're doing it because they want you to buy Black Ops 6 and realize, oh, it's so much easier to level your weapons here, it's so much easier to do that here, whatnot, right? Really, it's just a great opportunity as a free-to-play player to take advantage of some easier grinding. But with this is going to be kicking off this Friday on December 13th. It's actually lasting all the way until December 20th as well. With this, you're going to gain access to a couple of different multiplayer maps. We're going to have the new Season 1 Reloaded maps, of course, in Racket, Hacienda, and then Nuketown Holiday, on top of the base Season 1 maps of Extraction, Hideout, and Heirloom. There's going to be a bunch of different modes: TDM, Hardpoint, Dom, Kill Confirmed, Kill Order. Prop Hunt's even going to be a part of it as well, which is pretty cool. And then on zombies, you can play the standard and directed modes for Liberty Falls and Terminus in there as well. They say dive into Call of Duty multiplayer to get in the festive spirit by checking out Nuketown Holiday. Beyond that, experience the new Omni movement system and more gameplay features on great maps. The free trial is playable across 5 core modes. If you're brave enough, jump into zombies, and of course all of that is fully free for anyone. You don't have to buy Black Ops 6 at all for this week if you're looking to try that out. So definitely take advantage of that at the end of this week if you're interested. Now, in terms of other updates coming or potentially coming this week, we actually have a lot of information here. Of course, one of the main things we're looking out for is this soon after Season 1 Reloaded weapons update that Treyarch initially revealed back last week when Season 1 Reloaded dropped. They ended up following up saying, hey, we've also got a weapon balance pass, aka weapon buffs and weapon nerfs, coming shortly after the launch of Season 1 Reloaded, which could be as early as this week. It's not guaranteed to be any given day this week, but it's a good chance that this happens in the next few days, featuring changes to headshot damage on weapons, removal of idle sway on snipers, reduction of visual bob, recoil, and sway, which is going to be huge. So this is a big time update for weapon behavior across multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone. So definitely something we're going to be on the lookout for. As mentioned, could be happening as soon as this week. So if this update does end up going live, you guys know I'm gonna have you covered with the need to know info right as it surfaces, alongside everything else going on in COD, whether it's other news and announcements, meta breakdowns, everything like that. It's all here on a daily basis. So feel free to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with everything going on. And of course, if you enjoy this video, a like is always seriously appreciated as well. Seriously, much love to everyone who does take the time to do so. Now, a lot of the other information we have into some of the upcoming updates, potentially as early as this week, stems from the Trello board. And we actually have several new updates here for the multiplayer and zombie side of things, and then even more going on in Warzone, with some pretty important stuff being brought up over there as well. You can see currently there are a couple of different fixes already scheduled. The high mantling speed being slower than intended. They tried to fix this once, it didn't work, but that will be fully updated here, and that's going to apply to all modes, multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone, since it is of course a global issue. And then, as they mentioned last week in some of those mini update patch notes, we did actually see a fix to the blueprint glitch going on where the attachments don't change, but only for multiplayer. For zombies and Warzone, it's currently listed as a fix scheduled, so that could be coming up here soon as well. But of course, the rest of the Trello, just other various things they are investigating. A lot of this is stuff that's been here for a little while now, like some of the Dark Ops calling cards not showing correctly in your profile showcase, players having non-melee weapons as a dedicated melee slot, so you can basically have 3 weapons on your class setup. That's still a bug, that's still a glitch going on in game that I see a lot of players doing, so they are going to end up fully updating that. Multiplayer, it's some pretty basic stuff, all things considered. Levels not showing correctly, so it might show you or your enemies as level 1 on the menu and in game, which is obviously not correct. It's just a visual bug there. Some tracking for stuff like like metal pop-ups, those aren't always working. And then in zombies, players not getting ammo when they're supposed to be getting ammo, not being able to craft enough things there. Like I said, a lot of things that we've already covered in the past, but a couple of new fixes scheduled there. The Warzone Trello actually sees a pretty sizable update though as well. So here we actually have quite a bit to break down. So some of this is actually left over from some of those mini update patch notes that we had the other day. These fixes scheduled for ranked play with the SR not being accurate, then snipers one-shotting, those were in the patch notes a couple of days back, so they just got to go through and update that. Of course, they've got the full-on playlist breakdown, which is cool, but we're not going to see any significant playlist changes until December 19th towards the end of that free trial event. But what we do have is several other things to look out for now across the global and then mode specific updates here. So with this, they're still apparently investigating the erroneous blood effects, which AKA is the bad servers and the client side versus server side information that's being given in game. Hopefully that means they're actually still looking into why the servers are displaying this and what they can do to fix it, and not just some, hey, band-aid here, we patched it, we fixed it, and it clearly just is not an actual fix for the situation. The mode specific changes here though is what I really want to focus on. So obviously there's a lot going on here. A big one that's been ongoing for some time, they're investigating the issue preventing players from accessing Warzone via the main menu, where you just get into a constant loop. This has been an issue pretty much since the Warzone integration happened, and it quite literally makes the game unplayable for those affected by this. Now, I have heard that sometimes if you are a premium player and you have Black Ops 6 multiplayer or zombies, you can load into one of those modes in Prestige and it'll fix this loop, but that hasn't been a surefire fix and a guaranteed fix for everyone. And of course, if you don't own Black Ops 6, you're not going to buy the game to simply Prestige and then jump right back into Warzone to fix your bug, right? $70 to fix a bug, that's ridiculous. So this is something that I'm honestly pretty disappointed is still an issue, considering it was listed on the Trello on December 5th, but it's been an issue since way before that. So they definitely got to go through and fully update that one. They also say they're still looking into various issues with streaks not deploying correctly, even though they've had that in the patch notes a couple of times. Reflexes not fully being an accurate description there. There's a new issue that's going on where players can't apply armor plates, obviously a pretty significant one. Pulling out your backup pistol when attempting to pick up a weapon from the ground after redeploying, so just messing with your interaction and behavior with the world there, very frustrating as well. And then sort of piggybacking off of that, an issue that prevents players from looting items on the ground. And then we actually get this card, which is pretty unique. They say, we're investigating a number of various isolated issues, and they actually have a full description of a bunch of different bugs going on here. So players' parachutes are automatically deployed when falling from ladders. This is such an obnoxious bug where if you're climbing a ladder and you got to jump off because a player's looking at you or someone's turning a corner beneath you or something, every time you jump off, your parachute automatically pulls, which is pretty much just asking to go to the spectate screen or asking to go to the gulag, because you're gonna have to then go through the entire parachute pull out animation and then cut your parachute, and by that time the enemies are probably already hyper focused on you, they're already shooting at you. It's just incredibly annoying there. Players are also unable to loot after redeploying to the field, where you just quite literally can't pick up things, a game breaking bug in and of itself. Players are unable to revive their downed teammates. This has been a huge issue as well since the first day of Warzone. I remember playing the first night the integration happened, and I'm stuck under one of the houses on the edge of Area 99. Like, guys, can I get a res? And everyone's just kind of looking at me like, Zach, we're trying, we can't do it. So that obviously sucks a ton. They are fixing that. Players are visibly stuck in the down state. If you follow me on, TikTok, or you caught the YouTube short for this, I ended up posting one of this where our teammate got knocked. I went to revive him, and then he just never stood up. He was always like he was knocked, but he was moving around on his screen. He could see completely normally. So it gives you an extreme advantage in gunfights, but obviously it's a significantly broken thing as well. And also the cost of items in the buy station is inconsistent. Sometimes you might notice that your weapon with 8 attachments costs $2,500, but your base default weapon, or maybe just like a normal blueprint, costs $6,000 or something, right? Like, they got to go through and sort that. They already fixed it once, it seemed, but then of course they broke it again with the reloaded updates. So a couple of very important gameplay mechanics and other elements of that are broken. They are looking into that. So in the coming days, we should be seeing quite a few big time updates to address some major issues going on with Black Ops 6 multiplayer, a little bit of zombies, and definitely a lot of Warzone here as well. And of course, as as I mentioned earlier, as we see any new announcements, any new updates go out, if they drop any surprise patch notes or anything like that, this is the best place to be to stay up to date with all of that stuff on a daily basis. So feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. And if you enjoyed this video, a like rating on your way out would be seriously appreciated. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.